everybody. This is Tim Rowan. Welcome to Meet the CEO. This is my series of video interviews with leaders in the home care technology arena. And today I'm very pleased to be introducing to you Jim Bland, who is the founder and CEO of Seniors Home Services. You're going to find that his story is a little bit different from some of the previous videos that I have brought your way. He is neither an electronic medical record or agency management system or just telehealth. And I am going to let Jim describe in detail the kinds of services his company has to offer. I think you'll find it interesting. So Jim, welcome to Meet the CEO.
Hi, Tim. It's great to be here with you. In describing it, who we are, what we do, we're headquartered in Annapolis, Maryland, and we serve the entire United States. And the home healthcare industry is one that we have found we can have a huge benefit as we are working in the industry with companies. Today, we know that companies want to keep their readmission rates as low as possible. They want the best patient outcomes they can have, the best CAP scores. We have value-based pricing right around the corner, and we have a phenomenal product that helps them. Today an agency is tasked with getting somebody back on their feet, keeping them out of the hospital, but they're only in the home for a couple hours a week. The rest of the time, in so many cases, that patient is alone and left up to their own devices as to what's going to happen or what doesn't happen. They have a family that's got their own world going on that may get by once in a while, but it's a tough scenario. We have our primary product in helping an agency keep their patients as best as they possibly can and recover as quickly and keep them out of the hospital is a 24/7 remote care program, to where we have 4 remote care coordinators that are assigned to an individual patient. We are video chatting with them daily, a number of times a day. We may be calling with them daily. We're going to check their health, as far as getting a health survey from them as to how they're doing, what type of challenges they may be having. Are they getting around okay? Everything. And what we find with so many patients, if they're getting the attention, they don't fall into loneliness, isolation, depression. We need to make sure they're taking their meds. We need to make sure they're staying hydrated. We need to make sure that we're listening to them. What's nice about it, our care coordinators literally become their friends. These guys work out of their homes. They're compensated well. They're able to have their pets and their kids there. The patients love that. And they end up telling our coordinators things they wouldn't tell their physician or tell the family. So it really helps us with having that information to do the best job we can. And if something is going the wrong direction, we escalate it very quickly to the care team or to whomever we need to be there doing that. Now, we also combine that with our fall alert and safety technology.
Well, Jim, I want to hear that in detail, but there's a couple of clarifications. I want to make sure I understand exactly what you said about the daily contact service. These are live contacts on video.
Absolutely.
So this is not an automated robot thing, and
No.
and they are your care coordinators. Are they nurses? Are they other licenses?
They come from a medical background, and most of them are not nurses, but they come from a medical background, and we've put them through weeks and weeks and weeks of training. The big thing with our coordinators is to have a wonderful bedside manner and know which questions to ask and know how to interpret data that's being received to know when to escalate. But a big thing is that bedside manner, the fact that we want the patient to feel like they want to spend time with us, because we know if we're able to have them do that, we're going to pick up on what's going on pretty darn quickly in that home.
So these are not contracts. These are employees of yours, and they work all over the country out of their home to.
That is correct. We're not utilizing a call center or something like that to
Yeah.
where or an automated response that's canned. No, and this is what really sets our service apart from a lot of other things out
And you
there.
said
that
as often as 3 or 4 times a day?
whatever is needed.
Okay.
You know, every patient is a little different. Every situation's a little different. So what we do as far as our intake, we try to determine exactly what the situation is, what the diagnosis is, what the care plan should be. And then we know at that point what we should be focusing on to make sure that we're going to do the best job making sure that we're going to keep that person from being readmitted.
And you coordinate this with the home health nurses that are in there a
Absolutely.
couple of times a week?
We coordinate with them. We can, our system can be integrated deeply into the systems of the agency, or it can be completely removed from it. So these are the kind of options that we offer agencies in doing it. Our system is also, private pay, and we find in many cases the family is paying for it. It's only a few dollars a day.
So they might continue this after home health discharge with the
As a matter of fact,
family,
they can continue. We have people that stay on it for months and years after discharge
which helps
because
again toward reducing hospital readmissions.
it does. And there's a whole nother financial component to that as well. Not only do we help agencies by increasing their patient outcomes, we have a whole new process that goes with that where we can increase their revenue by 25 to 50% per patient. Net revenue, bottom line revenue.
That's going to grab people's attention. So I interrupted you talking about your fall prevention system. So let's get to that. And then I do want to go in detail about how your financial system works.
With our care coordinators, we augment that with a fall alert and technology that goes in the home. And these are non-camera sensors that are installed in the home. The family can do it, or we have a team throughout the United States that can install these. And they are sensors that go in the rooms, bedroom, hall, bathroom, on doors. And basically these are wireless. They are double-sided tape, and they feed into our AI-driven software that connects to us through the internet. We also have a wireless component that we're working with as well with cellular service. Now, Tim, what this does, we learn exactly how the patient lives in the home. We're collecting a couple thousand data points per day. So we know when Mary gets up in the morning. We know when time Mary goes to the bathroom in the evening, how long she should be in the bathroom, when she should or should not be going outside, when she is going outside, when she's coming back in, if a stove's been left on too long, if a faucet's been left on too long. It is amazing, and we're monitoring that. And so when we see something that's unusual, that's what we're looking for, unusual activity. It's 8:30 in the morning, Mary's normally up. Well, you know what? It's 10 of 9, Mary's not gotten out of bed yet. We're going to reach out to Mary. And Mary, are you doing okay? And you're going to get a response of, well, I slept in. Well, okay, great. We're going to make sure she's fine. Or we get a response, I don't feel well today, and I don't feel like I really can get up right now. Well, we're going to escalate that. And what that's going to do is to prevent something from occurring that we don't want to occur. Same thing with the bathroom. Mary at 2 o'clock in the morning goes to the bathroom. She's normally in there for 3 minutes, 4 minutes maybe. If in the lapse of time has gone by and we notice that she's not back out, boom, that's an escalation. We're going to go ahead and determine what's going on. And we first try to reach Mary. If we can't reach Mary, we have a designated family member. And if we can't reach a family member, well, at that point, it's going to go to 911 to intervene, to find out what's happening.
Mm-hmm. Or if you don't get any response at all.
Oh, yeah, we don't get a response. We're going right to 911.
Yeah. Okay, so you have the monitoring services with the daily communications with a live person, and then you have the fall alert and detection, and I assume it's anticipatory, that you look for typical patterns and you notice when they change. So you
Yep.
can perhaps even see a potential fall that's coming. Um, Now, you had told me before that this is not only no charge to the home health or home care agency, but can become a source of revenue. I really think people are going to want to hear about that one.
You know, it is. It's really it's so affordable for a family. It's a few $100s a month. Yeah, we have our one service is 129, one's 250. Most of the time it's bundled with the fall prevention and the 24/7 care, and that gets to be about 300 a month. A little bit more than an eccentric cable bill. The family pays for it. The family wants to know mom is okay. And we, you know, Tim, today, when we look at the population, people that are over 65, 44% live at home alone. Once we get to 75, about 58% are living at home alone. Or in many cases aren't living with a family member, but are home alone 8, 9 hours a day by themselves. And they, you know, everybody worries. They worry to death what's going on. Well, this gives them the peace of mind of knowing somebody's keeping an eye on what's going on. Now, that $300 a month, we have a 25% revenue share that goes to our agencies for simply making the patient and the family aware that we exist. So it's such an easy process. The agency, when they're doing the intake of the patient, we have a nice little video and they can send to the family and to the patient. We also have brochures that we give them. And the video goes something like this, you know, welcome home, and we're thrilled to have you home, and your healthcare agency and the hospital want to do everything they can to help make sure you don't get readmitted because we know you want to be at home. As part of that, we're going to be coming by and seeing you a couple times a week. The rest of the time, though, you're going to be alone. But we have a way for you to have your complete independence and privacy, but without having to be alone, because we have 24/7 remote care coordinators that can help you. And it walks them through, and it's just a really great video introduction. Family sees it and goes, oh my gosh, this is perfect for mom. This is exactly what we need. And once the patient gets to know the coordinators and the family loves the peace of mind, they stay on it month after month after month. So this is the opportunity for an agency, number one, to increase immediate profitability from a patient, but then to have a residual, reoccurring passive revenue stream month after month after month of, you know, $70, $80 a month per patient. So when you start compounding that month after month, we have some agencies, if they're just doing 80 a month in new patients, it can, and a small percentage of their patients are using our system. That's about an extra $100,000 a year to their bottom line. Year two comes around, that's about $250,000 a year to the bottom line, without any additional staffing and without any additional visits. And there's no need to sell anything or anything like that. We take care of all that internally as far as onboarding the patient and the family and working with them.
So the agency, both you're dealing with both Medicare agencies and with private pay, and the private pay could tell the family about it, and family becomes your customer, and that could continue for indefinitely.
Indefinitely.
With
Tim, we want to do whatever we can, and there's some other things we'll talk about today as well, to keep the senior at home as long as they can. It saves them a ton of money by being able to do that. You know, you're talking $100,000 to $120,000 a year. It's saving them, and people are living much longer today. So they've got some savings. They've got their home. That home is going to continue to appreciate as they're in it. They're going to be happier and better off at home than they ever would. And in doing that, when and if the time comes that it's time to make a move, well, they haven't exhausted all of their resources. They've got plenty of resources to where they can live out that final part of their journey, where they want to, you know, maybe not at home where they want to be, but someplace else that's a place that would be more comfortable to them than a situation in which they ran out of money because they had to move out of their home too early.
It also maintains the relationship with the home care or home health agency in the event that additional services are needed in the future, especially with
Well,
Medicare home health. They discharge, the family continues to use your service, and then it keeps that home health company's name in front of the family for the future.
well, I'm so glad you brought that up, because one of the things that we do as we have families and people that are working with us, we have a nice monthly newsletter that goes out to them, and in there we co-brand that with the agency who introduced us to the family and to the patient. So month after month after month, the patient and the family are being reminded who their home health care company is. So when things are needed, boom, at that point in time, they know not just to call somebody, no, they know who their home health care agency is.
Exactly. Now, these are not the only two services that you offer. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Can
We
you-
offer, go
yeah,
ahead,
go
Tim.
ahead and tell. I'm fascinated with what you told me previously about the study of the brain. And I think that's becoming a popular topic these days, and I'd love to hear more about that.
When we look at taking care of somebody and making sure they're going to be good in their home, we kind of look at it as a three-legged stool. And number one is making sure that the home is in the proper condition that it needs to be in, with home modifications, whether it's a stair lift, ramps, bathroom redo, those type of things. Making sure the senior or the patient is as well off as they can be to be able to stay at home, from having the maximum amount of balance, mobility, coordination, cognition, those type of things. And then the product we just talked about, having some oversight without interfering with the independence of the senior. So the brain is a fascinating one. We have a product called Zing Performance. And this has been utilized in the UK for the past 20 years. We recently exclusively licensed it for the United States. What it really does, it turns back the clock on decrease in cognition, balance, memory, and coordination that people routinely go through as they get older. And that's all about the cerebellum. The cerebellum is a part of the brain that really controls that. But what happens as we age, the cerebellum is not getting the amount of blood flow that it's accustomed to getting. When it's not getting that type of blood flow because of movement and activity, the stem cells die, and it shrinks and it decreases and decreases. And that's why, in many cases, you hear people talk about the senior shuffle as they're going along, or when they get ready, when something happens as far as falling. And here's this phenomenon with the cerebellum is responsible for more falls probably than anything else. And that's because the reaction times are decreased. Normally, you and I, if we were to trip, we are automatically going to get our hands out in front of us. We're going to get our next foot out in front of us, and we're going to catch ourselves because it automatically happens. With somebody who has got deterioration with their cerebellum, the messages aren't traveling as fast. It's not just in time messaging. So the senior has to go think, oh, gee, I think I'm getting ready to fall. I better get by that time, it's all over.
Mm-hmm.
So the same thing happens with cognition and those type of things as far as reaction time. We see all the time where someone gets ready to fall, they just didn't get their hand out fast enough to grab the grab bar. So what we do, we have a free online assessment to where someone sits at their computer, and we have them go through an assessment with us. And we grade about 10 different categories. And from a 0 to 100, we grade out exactly where they are from. Maybe it's 70, maybe it's 60, maybe it's 50. And then we'll also, through doing this tens and tens of thousands of times with people, we'll let them know where we think we can get them. How close to 100 can we get them? And that's going to take place month 1, month 2, month 3. It's about a year-long program. People see improvement normally within about 90 to 120 days, and then it just gets better and better and better. What we do is prescribe an individual exercise program and a coaching program. Now, these are not your traditional exercises. These are done in front of the computer with a coach, and you are doing certain types of exercises that we know stimulate blood flow into the cerebellum. And it is, we reassess it every 30 days. So someone can watch the needle move. Here's where you were, here's where we are now, here's where we are. So they can see the progress, and they also see the progress in how they find their mobility increasing, cognition increasing, balance getting better. We've had a lot of write-ups on this. Nature magazine had a huge piece on it. We've been featured on 60 Minutes, Good Morning America. I mean, the list goes on. And we have tremendous documentation with this, with videos from a number of physicians that have used it with their patients. And then we have a number of users that talk about what it's done for them. So I can't say enough good things about it. This is without medication. This is naturally done, and it's correcting a natural aging deficiency that takes place, and it's turning back that clock. You know, we know the main things that the seniors want to be able to do. They want to maintain their independence. They want to stay in control of their affairs. And they want to stay at home. Well, this makes it as part of the ways that makes it possible for them to be able to do that.
These are things that I didn't know before. The cerebellum controls both memory and balance, you mentioned.
Well, you know,
those seem to be unrelated things.
They are very related from this standpoint. What ends up happening, and this gets a little complex, and I am not a clinician, so I will do my best. As the cerebellum has deteriorated, and instead of it naturally telling somebody what to do as far as preventing a fall, or I want to go this way, I want to do this, I want to do that, someone has to be thinking about that all the time. I have to be concentrating. I want to do this. Oh, I better get my foot out. I want to step over here. Oh, I want to turn around. Okay, I have to think about that. When I do that, I'm burning up bandwidth in the frontal part of my brain. And as I am burning up that bandwidth in the frontal part of my brain, there's only so much bandwidth there. And as that is being overly utilized, at that point, the memory is being stressed as far as being able not to be as sharp as you would with cognition, with memory, and those type of things. As you rebuild the cerebellum, and as those just-in-time reactions start to take place, and as the natural mobility starts to take place, you're freeing up that bandwidth, which naturally helps restore memory, cognition, and those type of effects with it.
That's fascinating. And what is the what is the price structure for that program?
That runs about $149 a month. It does come with, and it comes with there's no long-term contract, comes with a 100% money back guarantee as well. But when people are very, very comfortable with it, as far as being able to sit down, it takes about 5 minutes 2 times a day to do the program right at home. And we have coaches, we have customer service. So, someone's not on their own or anything like that, but it really is. It's just absolutely phenomenal.
Well, it's fascinating. I'll have to try it myself.
We're going to give you a free subscription to go ahead and take it for a test drive, Tim.
I'll do that. I'll do the 5 minutes a day, and I'll write up a story about it and let my readers know exactly what kind of effect it might have had on me.
I will tell you, we're finishing up a study right now that has 132 seniors in it. We preliminarily have found that their balance and mobility has increased by 79%.
That's significant.
That's a huge number.
Yeah.
That is a huge number.
What age range do you do that with?
Pardon?
What age range do you do that
These
with?
were all people that were over the age of 60.
Okay.
Yep. And we'll have the full study out on it soon, but it went through all the other different categories as far as cognition, memory, those type of things. And we saw in the 60s, 70s, 40s, 50s increases there. The absolute biggest one was the balance and coordination. We had a 79% increase.
Wow.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Absolutely huge.
So I want to make sure that we get a chance to recap. You have talked to us about home modification, about daily monitoring of patients and clients who are living alone in between professional visits. And you have talked about the improving the power of the cerebellum, as well as the fall detection and prevention program. That's four major services to the post-acute care industry. Is that it? Are those the four?
Well, we have also an air purification system as well that we make available in the home. And with that, this is a product that was developed for NASA. And the reason it was developed for NASA, they wanted to be able to grow live vegetables in the space station. Well, vegetables give off toxicity. So this product was developed years ago to eradicate the toxicity of those. Well, what was discovered, it not only eradicated the vegetables toxicity, it did bacteria, mold, mildew, fungi, volatile organic compounds given off by paint and park carpet and furniture. It also eradicates dust mites, all different other types of things that are in the home. And is the most recently discovered that it eradicates SARS-CoV-2, which is really coronavirus.
Oh.
So this is a pretty amazing, and I have one in our offices here. I have one in my home. I have friends that have them. They love them. We cannot get them back from them when we sell them to them. And what it does, it's not a filter. This is a patented process of using oxygen and water molecules, combining them in such a way through a process that recreates oxidizers. So it's completely natural, completely safe to be used in the home. It's about a 12 by 12 box, 12 inches by 12 inches. You plug it in. It treats about a 3,000 square foot home. What we offer a 30-day complete money back guarantee with this. Try it, put it in your home. And if you like it, keep it. If you don't, send it back for 100% refund. We don't get them back. And it's about $1,500 unit. So, you know, they're not inexpensive, but what it does, when people talk about how much better they sleep, how much better they're breathing, and this is really important for a senior. Seniors, you know, their lungs are older. They're inside 90% of the time. They breathe 20,000 breaths a day. They have pulmonary issues. And when you have pulmonary issues, you're not getting as much oxygen as you really need to have to be as strong as you possibly can, be as quick as you possibly can with reaction times and those type of things. So what this does is help. It helps somebody have a better living environment, but it also helps the senior with some very critical aspects of being at their very best, being as strong as they can possibly be. Because the number one thing we need to prevent, Tim, is a fall. That's what changes everybody's life. The fall, and I have witnessed that several times with people that were very close to me that were doing very well until they fell in their home. And 2 weeks later, it was all over with.
Yeah.
There's
It's
other
a typical,
situations.
I hear that pattern from home health nurses and other caregivers all the time. You have the broken hip, you have the hospitalization, and people tend to give up after a certain age.
Well, you know, it's a spiral. When somebody has a fall, what ends up happening, it scares them. So what they end up doing, they're afraid to go do things they used to do. I don't want to go down the steps to go outside because there's 2 or 3 steps going to, I don't want to take the chance of falling.
Yes.
So now they're becoming isolated, excuse me, isolated. They're not getting up and moving as they did. They're not going out and socializing. So then we start this spiral, and the spiral gets so the more you don't move, the worse things get. So you start this downward spiral, and that starts leading to depression, and it's just a terrible situation. So if we can prevent the fall, and we can then also make sure that we have good communication and companionship remotely taking place, and we can keep an eye on what's going on in the home from a 24/7 AI, situation of, picking up on things that are happening unusual. We make a huge difference in somebody being able to have a very high quality of life in the family, not to have to worry every single day and every single night, is mom okay? And what's also beautiful about it is, because of how our company is structured, we create a whole new revenue stream for a home healthcare agency that can produce some serious dollars to their bottom line year after year, with no additional staffing, no additional home visits, and keep the clients and patients that they do have aware of them month after month after month. So when services are needed, they know who their agency is to call.
So it's good for the patient and good for the home care agency
Yes.
all at the same time. And the peace of mind for the family is immeasurable.
And the other nice part about it, today, social determinants, as far as patient outcome, becoming very, very, very important. As we move into value-based purchasing and those type of things, the nature of the survey that comes back is much, much, much better with us. You've got a happier patient. They feel like much more was done for them. The family feels the same way. So, in addition to the financial benefits we provide and the health and well-being we provide a tremendous amount of great documentation for the agency to look as good as they can possibly look to hospitals and other people who are counting on them to do the best job they can. We should really shine there.
Well, Jim, it's a great story, and I hope that our viewers and the readers of my newsletter pay attention to it, and I'm sure they're going to want to know how to contact you. I'll post in writing at the end of this exactly how they can do that, but why don't you tell us your website and other ways that you'd like to be contacted right now?
Sure. Our website is our name, seniorshomeservices.com. And that's seniors plural, seniorshomeservices.com. You can call our offices at 800-600-7210. And that's 800-600-7210. And I would always welcome an email to me personally with any questions, comments, anything you'd like to know. And that's letter J, BLAND, at seniorshomeservices.com. That's J Bland at seniorshomeservices.com. Welcome the opportunity to have any inquiries as to how we may be able to help your agency perform as best as it possibly can with great patient outcomes and have a huge impact on your net bottom line profitability.
Terrific. Well, Jim, I want to thank you very much for your time. This has been an educational opportunity for me. I hope for our viewers as well.
Oh, Tim, it's been absolutely a pleasure. You have a great publication. You have a tremendous following. I consider it to be an honor to be interviewed by you. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you too, Jim. This has been Meet the CEO. I'm Tim Rowan. Remember that if you're not already subscribed to the Rowan Report, Home Care Technology, you can go to my website, which is homecaretechreport.com, and click the subscription button there. It's free, supported by wonderful sponsors like Seniors Home Services, who believe in what we're doing and enable us to continue to do this as a free service for you. So thanks for joining us. Thank you, Jim Bland. I'm Tim Rowan. We'll see you next time.